Another storyline coming out of this game, Klay Thompson talking to the media. As I mentioned, Klay Thompson went, I believe, 1 for 5 in the second half of this game. He went, let me just double check real quick. 1 for 5. Went 1 for 5 in the second half of this game. Finished shooting 6 of 14 with 20 points. The media, he sat down with the media and was asked about his lackluster play, man. Here was Klay Thompson. Here was his response.
Things like patience and time to find yourself. And I think history is on our side when it comes to that stuff.
You say that? Have you heard people say that, or
No, I don't care what people say. Like, they don't do what we do. They can't do what they do. That's why they talk. Why would I? Like, come on. I don't care what people say at this point in my life. Next question.
Next question, says Klay. Now, this was courtesy of First Take. Here was Stephen A. Smith's response. Let's hear what Screamin' A had to say, and then we'll respond to it on the other side. Here he is at 118 mark. Here's Stephen A.
Who religiously shoots better than 40% from three throughout his career, is shooting 40% from the field, 36% from three-point range. And by the way, that's an improvement. You've been playing like hot trash. That is the bottom line. We expect better from Klay Thompson. We know what kind of a champion he is, and with respectfully, what he said right there before the game last night is a flat-out cop-out. That's about you not owning up to the fact that you're not doing the kind of things we know you can do, we know you're capable of doing, and you're just trying to shrug it off like you don't give a damn. Maybe you should give a damn, because the Klay Thompson that I know that did give a damn plays better when he cares. And it's not to even imply that he doesn't care. It's just to say that, yo, you shouldn't be uttering stuff like that out of your mouth when you playing like hot trash. Last night he did it. He had a decent first half. Ended up him and Steph Curry only combined for like 4 of 14 shooting and 2 of 9 from three-point range in the second half. But damn, all of the praise, all of the adulation, all of the love that you received all of these years, the second you're struggling, now you don't care about what people think, maybe you should.
All right, that was Stephen A. Saying maybe you should care. I mean, look, on the Klay thing, I don't think it's him not caring. Look, he's 33 years old, off 2 major surgeries, having the worst shooting numbers of his career. Yes, it's early, but I think Klay Thompson's comments to the media was more of a defense mechanism. It's difficult for stars to handle their decline, which we have to admit that he is. Right? Like, is there a chance that Klay Thompson comes back and plays well? Sure. Is he ever going to be prime Klay, like a two-way force, a two-way bucket that he was back in his heyday? No, obviously not. Those days are gone. Even without the injuries, you would have to expect a gradual decline. But with those 2 major injuries and watching him over the years, you can tell he's just not the same player. So I don't think, what Stephen A. saying, well, he should care what people think. No, I don't necessarily think so. I think it's just a defense mechanism in terms of how he's handling his struggles. But look, he did his days, man. Klay had a great career. The injuries cut it short, unfortunately. He can still be a productive player, but people still looking for prime Klay. Like, he's gone.
And I don't think I think to Stephen A's point, it's not that he doesn't care about playing and stuff like that. He did say that in the clip, but I think CP, to your point, is Klay should care in changing and adapting his role instead of being that guy that was that number 2 guy, right? Next to Steph Curry, like, because he's on the decline and you're just looking at some of the numbers as you go through, like how he started the season and stuff like that. He's just not shooting at that high rate that he once was. I mean, he's shooting, as Stephen A. said, 40% from the field, 36% from three, that's down numbers for Klay. Klay is known to do much better than that. But I think for him, it's like, how do you care in adapting your game or maybe even your role on the team to help them be better? Is it, going to Kerr saying, you know what, maybe I do come off the bench because I'm not that guy anymore. Maybe we should think about giving Moody that type of promotion and let him get that experience and let me come off the bench and see if I can just take down second units, because CP, I mean, I watched that give and go from Klay, and I think it was Draymond in the right corner last night. Klay was moving like he was in molasses, dude. Like, that layup, I was like, he got the layup, but that was sad. That was sad. And not that Klay was a burner of any sorts, but he used to move much faster than that. And to see him on the decline now, it's just hurting it's hurting the Warriors and where the direction that they should be going, because you got Steph Curry there who's still playing like he's in his prime. I think that's what Stephen A is trying to get at.
Stephen A said that he should start caring, but Klay was talking about it in the context of he doesn't care what the media thinks, not
Right.
that he doesn't care about basketball or how he's playing. So to say to start caring, are you saying start caring about what Stephen A. Smith is saying, or are you saying start caring about basketball?
Yeah, he's saying he should care what people think. And I'm like, why would he have to care what people think? He's got 4 rings. Like he's done his time. And if it's just not there, it's just not there. Obviously, he wants to play better. And for Al, you're saying, well, maybe he should adjust to a new role. I'm not sure they could afford for him to just adjust and kind of dial it back a little bit and get used to who he is. They need him to be who he once was, in my opinion, for them to get back on top. Like I said, I just feel like there's an over-reliance on Steph Curry to be great, and Steph himself is getting knick-knack injuries as the years progress. Take a look now. Steph is getting banged up here and there. So it's just a challenge here, man. This is a challenge. And he's staring at a new contract. Will it be with the Dubs? Right? There's some money on the line for Klay here. This is it. Is he going to be in that 20, 30, 40 echelon? Not like this. You know what I'm saying? Dunleavy Jr. ain't giving him the bag. Or is he looking at like the new mid-level?
Yeah. I mean, this is where, like, look, I know the money is on the table for Klay and stuff like that, but if you're the Warriors, what are you going to do? Just say, all right, we're going to hope that Klay figures it out and keep moving forward. Like, we don't see anything. Everything's fine here. Everything's burning down in flames. Or do you say, you know what? We got to figure out how do we adjust. And that's where I say maybe Klay off the bench is something, because you can either just keep going the same way and just watch this team fail or not achieve the level that you expect that he can, or you adjust mid-season and say, you know what, let's pivot to a different direction and still try to be competitive, still usher our guys that we respect for what they've done for this team and move on. But if you're going to say, hey, we're going to expect that Klay's going to bounce back, could he get better? Sure. Is he going to be prime Klay? No. Is he going to be even the Klay that you got when they won the 4th championship? Maybe. But I think you got to make that adjustment right now if you're the Warriors. That's an internal conversation they need to have.
So you're not a believer that Klay could get to a level where he could help them win a championship as a starter? Like you feel like it's over for that?
I think as being like a top 2 guy, top 3 guy, yeah, I think it's over for that. I think he could be a supporting cast member at this point, but I don't think he's going to, like, look, even when we watched the finals, it was Steph and it was Wiggins. Wiggins was that number 2 guy that really helped win them that championship. Like, we just have enough evidence over that since that time that Klay can't do that. So I just don't see how at this point, after they won the championship about 2-3 years ago, that we're now expecting that Klay's going to get into that same form again a few years after that. That's just, for me, that's tough.
Yeah, I think Klay gets better. And you mentioned Wiggins. I mean, Wiggins had a great game last night, but that's a whole other issue. Like, there's reports saying that he really didn't come in the best of shape. And we already talked about like CP3 and Draymond, acting crazy, and Klay's problems. Like, Wiggins definitely has to be, he probably has to be better than what he was when they won a championship, as him being that guy, right? Like, with everybody declining a little bit. So that's a whole other issue right there. Yeah, man, they got a tough road ahead of them.